Hi, my name is Maddie and I'm a civil engineering major.
Hi, I'm Kari and I'm a material science engineering major.
Hi, I'm Caroline and I'm a civil engineering major.
Hi, I'm Mehr and I'm a chemical engineering major, and this is our project on adaptive reuse in Zurich.
The transformation of Zürich West, Zurich's previous industrial district, through adaptive reuse into mixed-use spaces, sparked a systematic shift towards the reusing of old structures to preserve Zurich's cultural heritage and inspire community engagement throughout the city.
If you go kind of outside Zurich, it's still industrial, but there's also a transformation there.
Adaptive reuse processes strive to recycle and reuse old structures, establishing local pride and retaining community identity by providing spaces for recreation, work, and living. How this transformation promotes community participation and interaction will be examined in 3 stages: the history of Zürich West, the structural engineering behind the transformation process, and how green spaces were incorporated into reuse designs.
For over a century, the industrial quarter of Zurich held many factories and plants representing the manufacturing power of the city. However, as economic trends shifted and production methods evolved, the factories began to close. In 1986, Steinfels, a manufacturer of soap and household goods, relocated due to rising costs. This move signaled a mass exodus of factories from Zurich West, leaving behind deserted streets and massive empty industrial structures. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, Zurich West's vacant industrial sites began to attract developers and urban planners who saw the potential in these large unused spaces. The transformation of Zurich West was then kickstarted by a couple of projects that embraced the area's industrial heritage. One of the key projects that kickstarted this revival was the redevelopment of Schiffbau. This former shipbuilding factory reopened in 2000 as a multi-use space that blended old with new. It was transformed into a multi-use complex that included 19 condos, a restaurant and bar, and a stage for performances and events. Another cornerstone project in the revitalization of Zurich West was the development of the IM Viaduct. This project took place in 2004 underneath a century-old railway, transforming the area into a bustling commercial hub connecting unique stores, restaurants, and public spaces, including a large park that is now a focal point for community life. The repurposing of the viaduct into a mixed-use area blurred the traditional boundaries between commercial and industrial spaces, combining the new members of the community with the district's old history. Another innovative reuse of space in Zurich West is Frau Gerald's Gardens. This area, once a vacant lot, was transformed started in 2002 into a lively community space. Frau Gerald's Gardens became a vibrant hub featuring unique stores, food stalls, and a flourishing community garden.
I work on the other side of the road, and now I have a break, and I come here to eat ice cream or come here to drink something, so this is really wonderful and relaxing.
At night, the garden transforms into a beautifully lit social space complete with a bar where people gather to relax. The extension of Tram Line 8 into Zurich West in 2008 was another crucial development in the district's revitalization.
In 2011, the tram number 4 was extended, and that really allowed for all those people working, living in Zürich West to have connections. So it's a part of this city that is very well connected by tram. And it's one of the key components in the area so they were able to build a lot of that area without much parking, for example, because of the fact that it's so well connected.
Throughout all these changes, the industrial quarter has managed to retain its historical identity. This is due to the widespread use of adaptive reuse of buildings, honoring the district's industrial heritage. These projects have not only saved old buildings, but also given them new life and community.
A crucial part of effective adaptive reuse is structural engineering, as it ensures that historic buildings are safely and effectively transformed to meet modern needs while preserving their architectural integrity. By applying innovative engineering solutions, Zurich can maintain its rich heritage in the industrial district. The IM Viaduct in Zurich is a carefully preserved structure where the historic masonry arches are. New structures inside the arches house a mix of galleries, shops, and restaurants, ensuring that the focus remains on the existing arches and the exposed masonry.
When they put in the shops and stores, they actually had rules that you basically had to build a space inside of the viaduct. You couldn't change it structurally.
Plans provide a visual of the galleries, shops, and restaurants inside each arch. The current renovation includes work on the masonry viaduct and several bridges, with original steel trusses being reassembled with ultra-high performance fiber reinforced concrete elements. The Zürich Tony campus, once Europe's largest milk processing plant, has been transformed into a fine arts building. The structure retains elements like the concrete framework and the truck ramp.
Modern approach, actually, things like having ramps, spiral ramps for the trucks to come up so that they could have multiple floors of activity in the building.
It has sloped floors and stories with varying heights. The redesign also involved the demolition of the industrial chimney, making way for an additional 10 stories of classrooms and residential facilities. The Zurich University of the Arts has various cultural and creative spaces, including exhibition areas, studios, and a cafe. The transformation has turned this historic site into a hub for arts, design, and innovation, preserving its architectural heritage while adapting it for contemporary use. The MFO Park in Zurich creates the illusion of a building without structural walls. It uses a galvanized steel frame woven with steel cables and also covered in climbing vines. It also features open frame stairs leading to walkways within the structure, allowing visitors to explore its green interior. Plans include greenery and public access. Cantilevered balconies offer additional seating and views of the surrounding redeveloped area. Structural engineering is an important part of adaptive reuse because it revitalizes historic structures, integrates green spaces, and promotes innovation and sustainability, as well as fostering community engagement and development in these mixed-use spaces.
Adaptive reuse is a sustainable practice in and of itself through its reuse and recycling of old structures. However, this practice can be made more sustainable through the incorporation of green technologies and architectural additions, such as green roofs. Green roofs and green walls have been increasing all around Zurich and Switzerland, and they are a great way to support biodiversity in the urban landscape.
The effect for the building is immediate, and it's very clear, and there is no debate on that, because the amount of energy that gets transferred to the building itself, or into the inside, is massively reduced.
Green roofs also increase overall green space, manage stormwater, reduce noise pollution, and support urban cooling. Adaptive reuse projects also encourage the incorporation of larger green space areas.
So in many cases, often people will build, and then the green space will be an afterthought. But it's an afterthought that eventually comes because it is asked for. Pavement jungles, they don't work in the long run, and it's not attractive to anybody.
An example of this is the previously mentioned MFO Park, a large and ever-growing green space in the midst of a working hub of the city. Places like the MFO Park and the IM Viaduct Park serve as areas for the community to visit and engage with on a daily basis. Green spaces also allow the community to connect with nature while promoting overall biodiversity and community engagement.
What's transformed is that there are more like green spaces, more grass and everything, and it's a positive trend because it brings together the community.
Close to nature is so important for everybody from children to old people, that if you have a consciousness of nature, I think you have a sense that the city, you're part of the city in a different way.
The intertwining of urban cultures into previously industrial districts is extremely important for the reviving and functioning of these spaces. The integration of mixed-use development, such as parks, restaurants, housing, and shopping centers, promotes community engagement and integration into these industrial areas.
Zurich is very busy. Here, I have a feeling it's a bit isolated
in the evening it's like very pretty with the lights, like, I don't know, a nice get-together spot.
The actual nature of the city is organic, that it's developed over centuries. And so you have a very wide range of different types of buildings that are very much linked with the history of the city. And that's something that is very important to community, that people have an identity. And Zurich has a very strong sense of itself.